Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Dr. Isioma Nwokolo. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and I'm the CEO and founder of Freo Wellbeing, which is an online mental health and physical health wellbeing platform. And I'm sitting here with the lovely Kim, who I will allow to introduce herself because I don't think I can do her enough justice.
Well, I'm Kim Trout, and I'm one of the local yoga teachers. I've been doing it for many, many years, possibly 50 odd years, and I'm still teaching.
And I just want to confirm to everyone, in case you don't know, that this lovely young woman is actually almost 96.
No, 95.
95. So she's almost 95, which is impressive, and she's still teaching yoga. So she'll tell you all about her history.
I'm not doing so much yoga, but I'm teaching because I love it and I believe in it. So yes, that's me.
Can you tell us some of the health benefits of yoga that you found?
I'm not hearing.
The benefits you found of yoga.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I keep wondering why I'm still here at 95. I think a lot of it is an interest, something to think about and work on every week, and I think it's helped me physically and mentally because I've been living on my own 34 years when my husband died at 54, so I have been on my own and I've had to get on with life, so I do think that the yoga has kept me on an even keel.
Amazing.
I think.
Amazing. So you said you've been doing it just over 50 years. Did you come into it later in life? And how did you discover yoga?
Originally?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've always been interested in the body, so I go back a long way with League of Health and Beauty when I lived in Liverpool, and I belonged to this organisation. And then when I came down to Bournemouth, I continued with League of Health and Beauty, little black satin pants and little white satin top. And yes, I did that in Bournemouth for several years, and then all of a sudden Iyengar yoga became very prevalent in the area, and I went as a student, and then I had the chance of becoming a teacher, so I trained. And the Iyengar method is a lot of training. You have to be 2 years doing it before you can even contemplate taking the exam, and then you have to have 2 to 3 years in between the exams, and you're not allowed to keep passing them. You have to keep consolidating for several years, and then you do the next exam. So I managed to get to Senior 2, and that's me at the moment.
Amazing.
And Kim, you've met the founder of Iyengar.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So
I've been to India 4 times. You have to go for a month at a time. So I've been there, and hard work. It's the institute, and they go from all over the world back to the home ground, as it were, in Pune, in India.
And could you tell us what makes Iyengar?
Speak up.
Could you tell us what makes Iyengar yoga so special? What's different between that and some of the other variations?
Iyengar yoga is controlled. It's very in-depth, working on joints, working on muscles, connecting to joints. So there's a lot of talk about body, but in a general class you would just do things and talk about where you were working at the time. But to become a teacher you have a tremendous training, so which I think is good and safe. Yes.
it's funny because until I met Kim, I didn't actually place thought on the fact that I had been doing Iyengar yoga. I'd been doing some training actually, and I didn't realize how important or how difficult Iyengar yoga is supposed to be. And now I've learned from Kim today that it's actually the toughest, most disciplined.
I think anything that's worth doing is worth doing properly. But that's the kind of person I am. I just can't do at something. I've got to go in depth and work it all out. And so that's why I love it, because there's a lot of background work before you can teach, really. Yes.
For me, who's not flexible, and I'm saying this, in fact, I'm talking to Kim today because I'm blown away by the fact that, she's done this yoga all her so many years, and she's still living on her own. Kim, you're still driving, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Still driving. She's
I'm
getting
not
on
sure
with
how
her life.
well.
Well, you're still safe on the road. You've still got your driving license, and I'm sure you're a very good driver.
Yes.
And so this, this message for people is that, there's no limit in terms of age.
Absolutely not.
There's no limit in terms of disability. I think you'll tell us in a moment about a young lady that your daughter, because your daughter also teaches.
Yes, she teaches people that have disabilities. So, am I supposed to carry on?
Yes,
talking?
if you do, yes.
People without legs, or people that can't stand, or people that are depressed. And it's very interesting how yoga, and that just doesn't mean physical yoga, it's mentally, it's your breathing. There's so much. It's like a health kick, if you want to. The young people of today, they like a health kick. But it's very disciplined, and a lot of people just like going to a class and doing something. But a true yogi will go in depth, and not stupidly. I've never been stupid about it. I've done my breathing when I've had problems, or if I'm nervous about doing something, I'll sit and breathe and control the breath, and it does help.
So it helps to remove the fear, it helps with anxiety, would you say?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
I'm not really an anxious person. Maybe that's me. I don't know, but I'm not, nothing daunts me really. Whatever comes to me, I'll look at it, work at it, and then it passes. I don't worry. I don't sit and worry about things, but whether that's anything to do with yoga or whether that's just being me.
So I was going to ask, if someone wanted to get into Iyengar yoga, what are the sort of local places they can go to, or how can they get involved?
What, in the area?
Yeah.
Well, there are many Iyengar yoga teachers in the area. In Hampshire and Dorset, there's about 35.
Wow.
And they're passing all the time exams. It's very popular, but then also other people do different type of yoga. They call it hatha yoga, but hatha just means physical.
Okay.
The word hatha is physical. So we all do hatha yoga, but some people call it hatha yoga, or I don't know, the prana yoga. It depends really what people want.
Okay.
It's
There's a yoga that I have a question about actually, and it's a yoga that people do in a hot room.
Hot yoga.
Oh,
I don't know what to call that yoga.
Yes,
What do you think about that?
it's not for me.
Yes.
No, it wouldn't be for me at my age anyway, but I'm not sure. I don't like saying too much about other types of yoga, but I'm not sure about this hot yoga.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of the name. There's a name for it.
Yes, I can't remember.
And I can't remember it either.
Yes.
It's not for me, but young people like it. Jumping into it all the time, doing something all the time. Sometimes you jump into something that's not a good position. So in my world of yoga, I prefer to go into it quietly and think what you're doing. When you're jumping in and out of things, you're not always jumping back into the right position. So it's not for me, but young people like it. Everything's good really in whatever you're doing, anything physical. The fact that I was introduced to the Iyengar method, I'm grateful really, because I wouldn't like to do it any other way.
Yeah.
And it's safe if you listen
Fantastic.
to the teacher.
For someone like me who currently, and I'm not ashamed to say, but I cannot touch my toes. Now, I used to be an athlete when I was younger. I used to represent my school. I used to run, jump, I was very fit. And now, having sat in an office for so many years, consulting and so on, I'm not flexible and I cannot touch my toes.
Does it matter?
Do you think there's hope?
What does it matter that you can't touch your toes?
Well, I would like to be more flexible. and I think that's the best, because when I go to the gym, one of the first questions they ask me is, try and touch your toes. And I can't even go near. So, and then I feel that if
it's probably your hamstrings are tight.
You're right, my hamstrings are tight and I do have pain there, so yes. You're right, yeah.
So it's something my husband couldn't touch his toes for 2 years, but he was a determined man and he did it every day, and we all had to clap him when eventually he called us, and there he was touching his toes after 2 years. So it's being regular at what you do,
okay,
and determined.
Okay.
A lot of it's up here.
Yes, okay.
In fact, I think most of it with Iyengar yoga is here.
Okay.
You've got to want to do it, you've got to believe in it. It's a big thing when you believe in something.
Yes, okay. And that helps you to carry on.
Absolutely.
Even when it's difficult.
Even when you can't. Yes, even when you can't. But
okay.
You do eventually get there, unless you've got a disability. But if you keep on quietly working at it, mentally thinking about it, not worrying, just allowing the body to do what it can, it comes.
Really
a lot of it is
that
to
sounds
do
like
with
great
the
life
person.
advice in general. Yeah.
Fantastic.
A lot of it I find.
Yeah.
If you're the type of person that can't be bothered, or you're too what's the word? If you're
not committed.
Yes, if you're not committed
or determined.
Yes, then it would take longer, and you may never do it because you've already told yourself, I can't do this. So you've had to quietly move from 1 month to the next and believe in it.
So which is what
Freo, you get there
Freo is saying you've got to be free. You've got to free your mind to believe in things. So.
Can I ask a question, Kim? You've taught many people over the years. How do you think yoga has changed their life, and how has it changed them mentally?
Oh gosh, that's a big question. I don't know, only the individual can really answer that, can't they? I mean, I see people coming in and they'll stay for 2 or 3 weeks and they get fed up and they go on. So immediately I wouldn't say, why aren't you coming? Because they've decided.
No, carry on. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Because they've already decided they can't do it or don't want to do it. So you've got negativity immediately. So it's difficult to say, but I think the people that have stuck at it, particularly with my daughter in New Zealand with her teaching disabled people, it's amazing what they can do and how their mind changes with the positivity of trying, doing, believing in themselves. Everyone is different. And it's amazing how it can bring out the best in you, and it can bring out the worst in you, because Iyengar method is not easy. It's a discipline that you've got to stick to get somewhere. There's no shortcuts, which is good, isn't it? It's good for your character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Another question.
The word you often mention, Kim, while describing Iyengar yoga is control. And as a student of yours, one of the things you have consistently taught me is that it's more important you do the posture the right way. It's rather you do it the right way than getting there. And yoga, Iyengar yoga has a lot of props as well, and that's why we use the props. Isn't it
yes,
so?
we use props to assist, adjust, help. Yes, that's true. So when I'm teaching, I'll teach a pose in 3 different ways: beginner, intermediate, and then the pose. And then it's up to the person I'm teaching, if they can't do it, stay at stage 1. And I like to see that, because most people think, oh, I'm going to go to stage 3, and it's hopeless. So they'll never learn. They've got to learn to be content with themselves at that moment in time and what they can do. Yes, it's character building, actually, very much so.
It's amazing because it also gives a sense of freedom, and it keeps coming back to Freo Wellbeing, because again, it's freedom.
Yes.
Freedom to be yourself, freedom to be content
Yeah,
with whatever
content.
level you are, and then to decide when you're ready to go to the next level.
Absolutely.
Without feeling guilty or feeling a sense of failure. It's amazing, really, really good.
Yeah, there's more to it there's more to the Iyengar method. It's not a case of raising your arms or lifting your legs. It's connecting to the whole body. So when you're working your tummy, you're working your heels as well. So it's a connection throughout the body to do anything, and which is good, really. Not just lift your arm. You've got to know how you're lifting, where the joint is, whether you're turning your arm in the right position. I think possibly the reason I liked it so much is because it's in depth. You know, it's not just doing something and following the teacher. It's eventually knowing yourself. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
absolutely,
definitely.
absolutely.
100%.
Awareness of your body,
Yeah.
and in a way falling in love with your body, because you are also
Not sure about falling in love.
loving your body because you are working with it.
No, what you do, you hope other people fall in love with it.
That one comes as a bonus too, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But you always taught us it's as if someone is pulling you from the top of your head. Everything has to go.
The head weighs 6 kilos. Is that right? Kilos?
That sounds about right.
Am I saying the right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
And so if you've got the head like I'm actually doing at the moment, pushing forward, then the weight is in the wrong place. So you've got to learn to lift the chest, to lengthen the neck, because the head is the most important. It weighs very heavily. So in the wrong position, doing it for too long at the same time, it can do damage. You know, you see people young people walking along with their head first and their body back. You have to lift the chest so the breathing is correct. Oh, it's very interesting. And I'm still learning. After all these years, I'm still learning.
That's amazing to hear that after all these years, like you said, you're still learning. So if someone was coming into it, if you could give us 3 points, 3 things they need to come in with, if it's an open mind or whatever it is, 3 things you would say someone should come into Iyengar yoga with.
People
3
remember
things.
3 things that people who are coming into Iyengar yoga should have. So would it be an open mind? You know, what would you say are the 3 important
Absolutely.
things? Yeah.
Yes, open mind, and also, what's the word I'm trying to say? Also being prepared to try things out that you may think in your mind is wrong. Try it and see. So somebody that's like the Iyengar people should. They've learnt the body, they've learnt the connections. Beautiful books are out showing you the skeletons in different positions and where you should connect. It's very interesting. It's not just physical and doing something with your arms and legs. There's more to it. So
Lifestyle
yes,
is a lifestyle. So I suppose if I was listening to you, I would say an open mind. I would say commitment.
absolutely.
I would say be prepared to be disciplined.
Yes,
Would you
It's
say those
lovely.
would be 3?
Discipline, commitment, and
I've
what was the
started
other?
already.
Yeah.
So I have an open mind.
You're halfway there.
Good. Good. I know the remaining half is not going to be easy, but I'm willing to give it a go. So, like I said, I did start it at some stage, but having met Kim, I'm quite keen to attach myself to her like a limpet. See how I can progress in this very interesting.
And we'll meet again in 12 months if I'm still here.
Oh, you will be here by God's grace. We will be praying. There are lots of people who are really incredibly proud of you, people who you've taught, people who you've influenced, like Anila here, who's been one of your students for
4 years.
24 years.
Gosh.
24 years. And who speak very, very highly of Kim. Actually, Kim, Anila, you told a really a story. It moved me.
I thought you were going to ask me to stand on my head then.
but Anila told a really, moving story of the fact that Kim not only teaches, but it's her lifestyle, and you thought of some nice, kind things that Kim had done, and how the friendship has lasted for so many years. So. Yes, I think, Kim, you deserve to be celebrated. I think that you're an encouragement to anyone who listens to this. I think anyone would be proud to be like you. I mean, should we have the fortune to get to your
95.
age? Yes, because it's...
You need a sense of humour to get there as well.
Well, I'm not going to tell them all the things you've said to us. But yes, definitely a sense of humour. You certainly do not look 95, and you certainly have the spirit and the belief that all things are possible.
Yes, you've got the right words.
Yes, the belief that all things are possible and that there's no ceiling. And I happen to believe that, which is why Freo Wellbeing exists, and why Freo Wellbeing is a project that I'm fully committed to, and that I would love to finally take shape, because it's going to be a lifestyle, it's going to be a community, So yes, I think we're blown away.
Oh, absolutely.
And very, very honoured. And
my
thank
goodness.
you so
Not at
much
all.
for speaking to us, and for allowing us to be in your presence. And I'm looking forward to many more meetings with you. And yes, I'm sure we all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Yes.
Thank you.